Hello, everyone. My name is Swai. You can also call me the promo guy. Welcome to our last show for 2020. My guest today is Cristal Balk from Unstoppable Marketing Solution. Good morning, Crystal.
Good morning, Swire. How are you?
Good, good. Would you mind to give the viewer a little bio about yourself and especially why your motto for marketing is filling in the gap in the marketing world?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm founder of Unstoppable Marketing Solutions and partner of IQ Podcast, and we really promote on the media content expertise on how to promote on different articles, magazines, podcasts, radio, television, etc., in order to help better promote, but also get more of a transparency for your potential clients and get to know who you really are. And so I'm very excited to be here, but I'm also the World Women Leaders for the San Diego team. And we basically work with other professional women all around the world. So we are better assisting each other in the area of expertise that we promote one another. But so filling in the gap in the marketing world is what I do. So that is definitely my motto. And part of that was because when I was growing up, I was in freelancing for other bigger companies. And I'm a connector. I love to speak with people. I love to know their stories. Everybody that started their business have an idea. Why is it that they want to start their business and why do they want to grow it, right? And so one of the things that I did was I realized, you know what? There's a lot of like logistics and a lot of information out there, but what are these people's stories, right? What is their brand? What are they known for? So I sort of noticed that was that was the factor that was missing for a lot of business owners. So I decided to go out. I just literally jumped 2 feet into my business. Um, Thankfully, I have a lot of family members that were in business and were able to guide me and in marketing as well. But I went out and started my own business. And so what I did, I focused on the organic side and teaching people, okay, let's tell your story. Why is it that you're doing what you're doing? Right? Besides making an income, right? What is your story behind what you're doing? And what's your mission and vision? And so that's how it kind of all rolled out.
I think that's interesting. So that brings me to my other question. So obviously, it's competitive out there for digital marketing. You spoke about organic digital marketing. They also pay digital marketing strategy. How would you rate the difference between that? Because obviously, pay advertising is very powerful. You could basically find out the keywords and then be where you are if you're willing to pay for it. But organic, it seems to be to be a little vague, right? You mentioned telling a story, but a lot of people have a lot of stories. So how do I make my story connect with people whom I can make an impact for?
Right. So the process typically before you do paid advertisement is building it organically. So most people, when they start off their business or the social media platform, start with people that they know. So their friends, their families, maybe some coworkers, whatever it may be. You start off with that. Obviously, that's not going to be your potential clientele because that's your family and friends, right? And when you start experimenting, what is working, what are they liking, what are they not liking, but also start adding people that you may want to work with. So the organic side is really building your connection to who you want to work with. And when I say you want to work with, I don't just necessarily mean your client. I just also mean like potential partners that can help you grow and also promote you and work with you and say, you know what? Swire is like the best podcaster I've ever known, and he's very professional. He's talking about different strategies about business and so forth. So somebody is already doing a mini testimonial for you, right? It's just a matter of maintaining it. So the organic side is basically okay for your social media platforms or your website. What is the message behind what you really want to say? Okay, what is the one thing that you want people to talk about you when you're not there? Right? And so you're basically building an understanding for other people to know, okay, this is what this Swire does, right? Okay, I know exactly what he does. Now, Swire may also do other things among that, but your main meat, for example, is going to be the podcast, right? That's what you want to promote in the organic side. Then eventually you'll go into paid advertisements, and so forth if you are needed. Some people do courses, right? Some people need to promote those courses. Well, in order to promote their courses and to buy from you, how are they going to know how qualified you are if they've never even heard of you, they've never even seen you, they've never seen your any of your information, right? So if you are going to do any social media platforms, think about, are you going to do informational? Are you going to do educational? Are you going to do interactive? What kind of marketing are you going to be promoting? Because that's going to depend whether your digital, not the digital, I'm sorry, the paid advertisements are going to work or not. At the end of the day, think about this. People are going to look at you and they're going to find you in Google, Yahoo, wherever they might find you. So type in your name. This is for everybody. Type in your name and see what pops up. If LinkedIn or your website and your social media platforms are not coming up, then you have some work, my friend. And that means start putting valuable information that is going to help you better promote yourself.
That's scary sometimes, Googling your own name. I had a guest be on a couple months ago. Her name happens to be, a convicted felon's name, same name, no relation. And then she got forced to, put her middle name now because when people Google her name, then is she related to that person? But no, it's you know difficult sometimes. You want to be the expert, but then are you the known expert that people know about? If you are the top of your game, but if people don't know about you, then it still wouldn't matter because no one can find you. But let me ask you this question for, we mentioned growing a follower. Let's say for a business, we have our parents follow us, we have, our spouse follow us, kids follow us, and people we play tennis with follow us. And we actually exhaust all the followers. So how would you suggest that they gain follower organically, with and connect with for their business?
Yeah, so connecting online is it's kind of like you're connecting with somebody in person. It's like if you were walking into a conference room and you were not just hand out your business card right away, right? You will actually start a conversation and get to know that person. So I recommend like to be very selective on the type of people that you are adding into your social media platforms, whether it's Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, whatever it may be selective because depending on that, other people are seeing your information, and you don't ever want to have somebody that it's not qualified, but not in the same level as you as far as like professionalism, and then somebody that says something unprofessional makes you look bad because you typically technically have that person as a friend. And so, be very selective of who you want to connect with, and start with the conversation. Message that person, get to know that person, and see if you have qualities that that you're looking for as far as that person or potential clients. Start envisioning. Okay, what is the perfect client? Right? What is somebody that I want to really work with? And then you're going to start gravitating towards those people because your subconscious already knows, okay, this is the type of characteristics that we're looking for, or we're staying away from this kind. Not saying that, um, you know, some people like to work with all kinds of different kind of people, and that's okay. That works with them. But you got to know what is it that your business does. What is your niche? For example, I work with a lot of small business owners. So business owners is very general. Right. So we do a lot of different advertisements for, restaurants, even podcasters, speakers. I mean, all kinds of persons, but they all have a common commonality, and that is basically they are all generally nice people, and that's something that I really wanted to do. I didn't ever want to work with somebody that makes me feel terrible or
Mhm.
or or things like that. I wanted to work with people that really care about their work, but also appreciate what I'm doing for them and what they're doing for me, vice versa, right? It's a mutual respect. So it's a matter of growing your following depending on who you want as partnering up or working as a potential other business partner as well. So it just depends.
Yeah, I had an interesting conversation with a coach for writer last night, and then her challenge will be, finding the right client who's willing to pay to hire her as a coach. Then, we started talking, and then I basically asked her to drill down to more specific, like what you just mentioned. Like, there are writers there are writers for themselves who might never use your service, but there are writers who is dying to need someone to coach them properly. So how would you connect with them and how would you relate to them? And then I think, small businesses especially, we have to accept that sometimes not everyone will be a client. Like you, Crystal, you want to work with someone that is nice to you, someone that is connected with you. So not all business owner will fit into that criteria. uh, but then what I wanted to do, especially asking from a small business standpoint, is there are so many platforms out there right now, and it seems like we have a new platform every couple of months. What social media platform should we be on, or it all depends on the type of business that you're in?
Cannot hear you. I'm so sorry, Swire. Sometimes we're having some difficult technicalities here, which is super weird. Can you hear me?
I can hear you speak. Yes.
Wow. Okay, I think I'm back.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. I'm so sorry about that. So, what social media platforms to be on? You know, Swire, that's a good question. Really depends on your industry and your business. So, I'll give you a couple examples. And then also, just try to remember what are some, like, benefits from each social media platforms. Right now, everybody wants to be in every single social media platform, right? They're like,
Mhm.
"Okay, COVID hit. Oh my god, I have to, like, really be in everything." And so, one of the things is to consider, it's like, okay, well, where are your potential clients gonna be at? So, if it's gonna be very professional and so forth, then, LinkedIn is gonna be potentially your best bet. But I think it's good to also try out different platforms. You'll be surprised how some people are like, "Wow, I didn't even think, like, Instagram was gonna be such a big hit for me," but it was. And so Instagram is more of a storytelling, artsy, kind of platform, right? And so sometimes, people are like, "Oh, it's too much work to keep up," and so a lot of influencers use it. But you know what? That's okay because we can utilize those influences in order to help promote you, right? And
Mhm.
so each platform has its, great abilities if you can utilize them to their advantage. So, Facebook has great, um, just different, platforms. I mean, Facebook has it's its own ecosystem as it is, but groups, Facebook groups, right? And so that's where you potentially, like, let's say you're a health person and you like all natural stuff, so then you would join natural and health related groups, and then you get to meet other people because that's where your potential clients might actually be, or just potential business partners. Right now there's a lot of people working with other people in order to stay afloat for the following year. And so it's definitely a different kind of atmosphere for each one, but you got to learn which one fits for you, right? Or you can utilize them to your advantage. Like I said, Instagram is a very storytelling, doing your stories, doing lives, informational. I've seen it both ways where a lot of professionals use Instagram. It has really worked with them because they're kind of like a professional slash influencer in their industry. So it works perfectly for them because they're very charismatic and they have that social and that modern style that a lot of people are looking for, right? And then you have LinkedIn, which is like very informational, right? So if you're a person that is throwing out just information about your industry or general stuff, I mean, LinkedIn's going to be perfect for you. But now LinkedIn also has their own stories, obviously professional stories, and now eventually you can do a couple more things as far as connecting with people. It's like, I want to meet all the owners of the restaurants near me. And so it's so much easier to find your potential client in that sense. And then lastly, Facebook is more of a connecting. It still holds its value, but it's a little bit more of if you already have a presence in Facebook, it's easier to maintain it rather than start all over at the moment. Right now, LinkedIn is by far one of the best platforms to be at as far as in professional level, but also it's much easier to navigate in the sense of connecting with who you want to connect with.
So how many platform? Let's say we found the one that works for us. Do we just focus on one platform? How many platform would you suggest a small business? Obviously we have limited time and resources to focus on. Is it one, two, or just what do you suggest?
Yeah, so it's basically I would, especially if you're so limited in time, I would start with your most strong platform. What is your strongest platform, your biggest following, the best connection, the more. And you got to think of not just the following. You got to think about what's the return, right? Are people really being interactive? Or because if it's just following and they're not being interactive or they're not liking anything or sharing anything, then that's not useful, right? I've seen pages where they're like, "Oh wow, they have a lot of following." You go into more deep, and then you start checking. You're like, "Oh well, nobody's sharing, nobody's liking, nobody's comment." So interaction is very important in whatever platform you choose. You have to stay interactive. So if time is a problem, start with one platform, and then eventually move over to the next one, and then the next one if you want. I think personally, Swire, I've seen it both ways where people are like, "This platform worked me very well, but this one didn't." And it could be the same person in the same industry, but, each platform was different for them. So I think it's a matter of testing depending on your industry and whatever you do and how you over storytell. Some people are very, analytical, and some people are more emotional. It just depends on how you say the message at the end of the day, right? How do you want to, um, present yourself? And so I would personally, from my point of view, I would do a test run and see which one of the three is giving you the most effectiveness for what you need, and then run with that. And then go with the ones that are really working with you. Still maintain them, right? But give more time to the ones that are more powerful for you.
Yeah, that's interesting because you could easily spend a whole day just going around different platform and trying to know what it does and try to connect with the right buyer because like you said in the beginning, you got to find out who you want to target before you jump into it because you could easily become your second job, which is not what you
Yeah.
do in your profession. Focus on your business, and marketing is something additional that you do to connect with potential clients out there. So my final question, and I think it's a big one, gaining more awareness online. So right now we're at December, end of the year. A lot of us are kind of forced in 2020 to be marketing online. A lot of the small business owner that I talk to, they're used to, just getting people in, just getting people walk around, see their billboard and come to their physical storefront. Right now, some of them are not able to open, or they might force to look online. So what are some of the tips and methods you would suggest to for small business to gain more awareness online?
Yeah, absolutely. I would definitely look more in deep as far as like your industry and what is it that your industry is special about, and start um, utilizing it from that angle. And I have seen where some businesses went completely off the chart, completely lost their business. Unfortunately, 2020 was a very rough time for everybody, but also for businesses. But also I've seen innovation, a lot of creativity, and a lot of people are going, "Okay, I'm not having my physical location, but I have an online store where you can go in and support me and my business." And I think that for the moment until we figure out what is happening with the world, I think that's a pretty solid, plan to start off with in order to try to maintain the business. But also I would also, as far as integration, like you said, I would start not only doing what the person in the business is doing, but start integrating new ideas and new possibilities that can go into the business as far as to, to maintain for 2021 in the following years. And so right now the online market is essential. This is not an option anymore. This has to happen, and we all have to adapt to new possibilities, new platforms, new ideas, and so forth, right? And so as far as gaining following, it's basically you first have to make sure you have your online marketing plan, your mission and your vision for what you want for that specific website. What is the message for that, right? And then you go in into your platforms and start marketing it and start getting more awareness for people that already are following your actual business. After that, then you go into podcasts. Look at Swire. You promoting all these different businesses and helping them out is basically an organic way of promoting your business. Right now, I understand that there is a lot of people hurting and the money may not be there, but there is a lot of ways for businesses to start going out there and promoting. Now, I know that as an owner, if you wear multiple hats, I know that, and so it's okay if you can't be on the podcast. Send your second in command. Send somebody that it's an influencer in your business. Send somebody that's super charismatic, a people's person, a connector, right? At the end of the day, we're all emotional human beings and we want to connect to something. So it's not necessarily going to be about the product, it's going to be the message behind what your product is about and what your business and the culture of your business, right? Nobody wants to be around Mr. and Mrs. Grinch. Everybody wants to be around somebody that is doing well for the community. It's doing well for businesses. It's doing well in it's a great human being. So just remember that even though it's been a rough year, do know that the following it doesn't necessarily mean the numbers all the time. It just means being who you are and connecting with the people in your potential clientele. Connecting is important.
Yeah, I think it's all about your mindset and doing business. Maybe locally you couldn't open your physical storefront, for example, but like you said, there are other people in the country or in the world that might dying to buy your product and services. Why not look elsewhere? Even the most niche, narrow focused business will have a
Right.
following in the world. There are a lot of people out there. And then, whatever that strange interest or products and services, there are people who want it and they are not physically in your area. Maybe they
Mhm.
just, around the block or another state or another country. Then you can be, become well known and become gaining more awareness by just dipping your toe, to the online
Absolutely.
world. Because if things are not working that you're used to, then find something else that might work. There are, like
Right.
you said, there are always other tools available, whatever that might be for your business. Just encourage anyone listening to just at least try one or two for the upcoming year. Put it in your marketing plan, put it into your action plan, and start doing them.
No, and just to add in there to what you have just said, which you're 100% right, Swire, this is a time to go worldwide. If you were a local little shop that was only working in the community, you were maybe in a tourism city, this is a time to go worldwide. And so this is a time to start connecting with people worldwide because there is people with that have good income and are not really effective from this economy at the moment. But then there are others that are fully affected. So how do you find those if you have a product and somebody that is not really that affected wants your product, how do you find those people, right? It's like how do you find them? Build a brand for your business, build a brand for your product, build a brand for yourself, meaning create something that people are going to want more to see, create something genuine as at the end of the day, right? Something important that is going to be what people may need or may want.
Okay, great. Crystal, thank you so much for coming on today. If the viewer wanted to find out more and reach out to you, what would be the best way?
Yeah, they can find me in my website, Unstoppable Marketing Solutions. I couldn't add solutions, it was too long. But I'm on unstoppablemarketingsolutions.com. And there I have a 15-minute free consultation, like calendar that we can book and we can chat. I really, I'm looking to chatting with more business owners and potentially with people that just need to revamp their new branding and come up with the more ideal solution for their business because the online world is had just began in the business world. So this is the time to adapt and start something fresh and something new.
Great. Thank you so much, Crystal. It's nice to have you on today.
Thank you, Swire. I appreciate you. Thank you for everything that you do.
Bye.